Hi, I'm Patrick, and this is Brian. Together, we just got played, and we just got done playing Bushido at Cloak and Plaster in Orlando, Florida. I had an incredibly difficult time finding my integrity. Won't you join us for Bushido at Cloak and Plaster? Brian, tell us about Bushido.
Sure, Bushido. Before we get started, I just want to mention that integrity was not the only virtue that you seem to be lacking.
It's tough for me to get any kind of respect, integrity.
Anyways, Bushido, it's a neat little filler game. It's set in Japan, or I guess with Japanese mythos to it. And it's got the mechanic of dice allocation and set collection to it. And essentially, each of the players represent like kind of like somebody in training, like Daniel-san or something like that. And there is a dojo, and there are the virtues of the Bushido that come out. There's 3 cards, and each have a dice value on them. And you also have daimos, which I guess are like the leaders of the dojo, or just characters of some kind. And they have special abilities, and they also define what your win condition will be. Now, there's 3 different win conditions that are out. There's a total of 6 daimyo cards, and 3 of which are determined randomly at the beginning of the game, which will spell out the set collection, the different sets that you'll need. Plus, they also have a certain restriction to them that you also have to satisfy, like guessing the card, on the top of the deck, or you can't have any of this specific loyalty card or something like that.
That's a neat mechanic, the guessing part.
Different things that they have. So it's basically every turn, each player rolls 3 dice, and you begin to allocate those dice at least once to one of the cards to try to buy one of the cards from the dojo, which is one of the virtues, or you can allocate it to a daimyo's ability that you might be able to use. Then you take your remaining dice and you may re-roll them, any ones that have not already been allocated, and you do that until all of your dice are allocated. Any cards that you purchase, you then move down into your personal collection, moving towards your win condition or your set collection. If you activate any abilities, when you take a card, you go ahead and do that. If you activate any of the daimyo's abilities, you can also do that. Then you replace from the deck, from the virtue deck, and it's basically the next player's turn. Essentially, it's just the first person to get their set and to fulfill the daimyo's restriction on their turn is the winner. Patrick, what would you say is your favorite thing about Bushido?
It's fast, Brian. It's one of these games where you learn it quickly, you plop down on the table, you know really what your goal is very, very quickly in the game, and it plays quickly. So it's a fast game, so if it's like if you're in need of a filler game, this might be a game that you're interested in if you like the theme, that kind of. So if there's one thing that you really like about it, it's going to be...
the thing that I like best about Bushido is for a small game, it's got, I think, the proper balance of luck to skill ratio. You can, it's basically 3 dice 6, so if you know your dice statistics for those, like basically it was like around a 15% chance per side on a dice and everything. You can have the upper hand when battling other people, so I think there's a pretty good balance for a small game of luck and skill. But Patrick, what would you say is the thing that you like least about Bushido?
I have to disagree. I think it is a little bit swingy. And that's not just because I lost, and I did. But that was the reason why I lost is because I don't have any integrity, Brian. It's got nothing to do with me being a bad player. I do feel it's swingy. I feel like it's the card, this randomization, the dice roll randomization. Now there is definitely a strategy when you're doing dice allocation for sure. That definitely exists, but I feel like it's a little bit swingy. I like my games a little bit more skill oriented and have some luck. You like it to be closer to that 60-40 mark. I like it to be a little more strategy. So if I'm going to pick one thing, I'm going to say it's a little bit too luck oriented for me, just a touch. And if there's one thing that you don't like,
The thing that I like least about Bushido, there's one card in here, the seppuku, if I'm saying that right. It almost killed me. Essentially, if somebody plays this on you, you can no longer allocate your dice to buy virtues from the dojo until you get rid of this card, which essentially requires you to get a meditation. Now, you can still get your virtues other ways through other abilities from the daimyos or I think maybe focus tokens or something like that. But if you get that card, man, it's
rough.
It's hard to come back from.
Yeah,
So,
that is a punch on the chin for sure. That's a rough card.
Again, Bushido will be coming to Kickstarter very soon, so make sure you hop on over there and pick up your copy.
I'm Patrick. This is Brian. Together, we are Just Got Played. Thank you very much for watching.
Integrity was not the only virtue that you were lacking.
Well, certainly it's the one I lacked the most. Obviously,
in this game, at least.
or the show.
Yeah. I would say that.
Yeah. I mean, if you watch the show, you know I have no integrity or self-respect.
Or courage.
Well, I definitely have that. I get on the camera every day.
Might be confusing that with
Stupidity?
yeah.
They run hand in hand, Brian. All right. I think that's good.
That's probably good. If you throw that one thing in there, just a little bit of the dubbing, I think that'll...
What kind of production is this?